Hi, I'm Scholastic Kid reporter Amelia Poore, and I'm at a Barnes & Noble just outside of Philadelphia. I'm here to interview superstar graphic novelist Raina Telgemeier. Hi, Raina.
Hi.
So what inspired you to write Guts?
Guts is inspired by pretty much my whole life. I've had anxiety since I was a kid, and it's something I've always lived with and never really knew how to talk to people about. So now that I've written a couple of other graphic novels about my life and my family and my friends, I decided it was time to write one that was just about me and about what's been going on in here the whole time, which is my anxiety and how I deal with it.
Guts tackles a serious topic, but it's still fun and funny. How do you balance humor with subjects that can be so upsetting?
Sometimes it's not easy, but sometimes that's why it takes me 30 years before I'm ready to write about something. And because I was raised on comic strips, my brain is skilled at the art of taking a situation and then putting a punchline at the end of it. And so when I'm writing, the same is true, where it's, oh, something so tragic or heartbreaking or tough, and then a character will still raise their eyebrow and say something kind of funny at the end. So I don't know. I think it's also helped me in a way to get through my own life when I'm faced with things that aren't good.
Why did you decide to become a cartoonist?
I think cartooning chose me. So I started reading cartoons when I was about 9, and I just loved them so much that I immediately had to start making my own, and I never stopped.
Do you do the illustrations or the words first?
They actually come together. So when I'm working on my comics, I work in a format called thumbnails, and that means that I'm sketching out the whole page and then putting little stick figures into each panel, and then the word balloons appear above their heads. So it goes right from my brain onto the page looking like a rough comic.
In Guts, your therapist Lauren tells you to try anyway. Can you explain what that means? How has it helped you in life?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big part of my therapy was things I didn't want to do. She would say, just try. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? And the more I did those things, the better I felt afterwards. And it was good for me to be able to see that the world was not going to end. So that's kind of stayed with me for most of my life. And I think it also applies to writing this story of Guts, where I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it. I wasn't sure if it's a story that I wanted to tell or that I would be able to tell, but I figured, why not try? Why not just start writing and see what happens?
Guts is your third autobiographical graphic novel. Why do you write about your own life? What do you hope readers learn from your experiences?
I've never written about my life thinking that I was going to teach anybody anything or that there was something to learn from it, but I want to show people that we're all the same. And it doesn't matter if our experiences are exactly the same or if they're very, very different. I think a lot of times the way we feel about things is the same. So I know that reading a story about a character that you feel similar to helps you feel better. And then if your friend reads it too, and you both say to each other, did you read this? Did you understand this character? I did. That gives you two a chance to connect also.
In Guts, you give your classmates tips for coping with anxiety and stress. Would you mind sharing those tips with us? Do you have any other advice for kids who are struggling?
Well, one of the things that I learned to do is to just kind of plant my feet on the ground and then think about every part of my body, starting with my feet. So I think about my feet, then I think about my ankles, and then my legs, my knees, my thighs, my hips, my stomach, my chest, my shoulders, my arms, all the way down to my fingertips. And then you work all the way up to the top of your head. And then once you get there, you start going all the way back down until you get back to your toes. And this is something that I sometimes do when I'm trying to fall asleep at night and I'm having a hard time relaxing. And I'm not sure what it is about doing this, but it helps your body to relax, and it helps your mind to just let go of what's going on. So I think that if kids are looking for ways to help manage anxiety, if they're trying to calm down, it's good to talk to a grown-up about it. It's good to talk to somebody who knows about the mind and body and ways to practice these techniques.
If you could go back in time and give advice to your 5th grade self, what would it be?
I want her to know that she's not alone, even though that's how it felt when I was in 5th grade and was struggling with anxiety and was struggling through therapy. I wasn't the only person who was, and I wish that I could go back and tell